Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Expert Division in the Winter Major Tournament. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Let's go! Hole number 1. We are going to play on the right side here. We're going to use max topspin, which is 6 bars of topspin with as much side spin to the right as possible. And I'm going to put myself in a plus 3 yard mark just before the bunker on the right. And the reason I'm putting myself there is that there is a spot where I don't need curl, I don't need overpower, so I basically just have to put the spin right and then of course hit it perfect, or as worst, great right. If we do not have 6 bars of topspin, we maybe have an extra mile 7 that has 4.5 bar topspin, then I would be playing the same, just that I would be going with a slightly more to the left and push the target up a little bit more, and then go with a tiny bit of curl to the right to just compensate a little bit for the less topspin that we're going to have, because we're not going to bounce that far as we did this time. Before I take my second shot, do not forget that you can check down in the video description down below for the direct timestamps for these holes in this playthrough. So if you don't want to watch hole number 1, you can skip directly to hole number 3 or 4 or whatever. Also, I'm going to show you 2 different versions of some approaches on some holes, because we can play some holes more aggressively than some others, and so I'm going to talk you through that as well. So this playthrough is going to be a little bit longer than normal, so it's going to be around 30 minutes instead of 25. Also, do not forget to join patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Get the updated text guide for the Winter Major, my adjustment for how to bring home a good score in the tournament. So, second shot here now. Now, I'm kind of looking for, should I go for the dunk like I did in Pro? But now, as we do have this type of wind, I'm going to line up on the mound here on the right. Max side spin to the left. And 1 bar of backspin. Aim slightly to the right side of the pin, as you can see there, and then I'm going to go with medium distance of my club with a 10% over adjustment, and that as well is going to be applied for the drive. 10% over adjustment is important, so we play downhill. Unfortunately, I hit a great right. I'm going to miss to the right of the pin with a perfect. That would have been very close. Hole number 2 is the time for now. And hole number 2 is going to be a par 5. And a par 5 that is going to be tough. And even though we have some tailwind, we're not going to try to get over to the second fairway. I do not want to risk that, because we do risk a lot. And I would also say that we do have to play with a power 5 ball, which for the second shot is not going to give us that much help either. So then I would definitely suggest that you do go with a normal shot, and we're going to lay up as we have done in the other divisions. So I'm going to take you through it. First, 10% downhill. Very important, as we otherwise going to come in too long and also too much to the left here if we would be using no over adjustment whatsoever here. So Kingmaker, extra mile level 8. 6 bars of topspin with 3 bars of side spin to the left. Take a look at the ball guideline position here. Also for the landing position. We do want to back up, and we're going to play it in medium distance of our club, because I do want to play it before the hump that we do have there in the fairway, because we're otherwise going to have a little bit of a tougher time to get a consistent bounce, and that's what we are looking for. A consistent bounce. No curl whatsoever, we're just going to let the ball do the job. Now we roll up there, and we're not close to the top, but we are close enough to be able to have a decent approach for the second shot here. For the second shot, we're going to have straight crosswind with a tiny bit of tailwind here. And I'm going to play with my Cataclysm as well. We could play with the sniper here, but that means that we do need to play a drive that might going to be a little bit closer there to the top than we were, because I don't want to find myself in a position where I have to stretch out my sniper and having to possibly go with overpower. Our opponent plays on the right side, and this side, exactly as our opponent played, is the way I would play if I would just be... Nah, I'm not going to go for the albatross whatsoever. I just want to lay up. I want to have a safe eagle. Then we play as our opponent did. If we do want to go for the hole and for the pin to make an albatross, we're going to play in medium distance of our club, 2 bars of topspin. Aim for the center of the rough here. Like you see with the second bounce I meant. Blue ring just by the rough there. Medium numbers with a 10% extra over adjustment. It's going to be 4.2 rings. Get in the hole! Bounce on the fairway, in the rough, roll up, but we're coming too hot! Too hot! So we might just want to back up a little bit there from the rough, or we might just remove a tiny bit of topspin, but that's the way for us to go and make the albatross. Hole number 3, here we're going to go for the rough bump. And rough bump is going to be required to go with some curl. But I do feel that the rough bump is definitely going to be a consistent way for us to get close. In a worst case scenario, we're just going to get the ball to the green and make a birdie. Our opponent bounced on the fairway here, bounce over. Oh, going to be on the fairway, no problem, to make a birdie. So, my turn. And now I'm going to go up. I'm going to play the sniper here. I'm going to play max side spin and 1 bar of top spin. Look at the position here. White ring just by the top. Blue ring. Half of the blue ring down into the sand there. I do want to give myself some room if I do hit the ball great right. Then we're going to adjust 1 on 1. So with the sniper, we're going to adjust for 7.2 ring for 7.2 miles per hour. If you play with another club, you play medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. You can see I'm using slightly less than half a ball of curl to the right there. And you can see I do not get the kick in that I want to, because we also hit it great left. So we do need to hit it perfect. We do need to go with a little bit more curl. 75% of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the right, and we're going to be good. Hole number 4. Here I'm going to show you 2 approaches. One where I play with a power 3 ball and trying to bounce in the rough to roll out on the fairway. And one that I'm going to go directly on the fairway. I'm going to play with a Titan ball. Having wind that is below 9 but above 8 is going to be very good when it comes to going for the rough bump here. I'm slightly too much to the right here. You can see I'm just hitting the bunker there, but due to using max topspin, I'm rolling through the bunker, and now I'm having a rough iron wedge for the pin. And I would take that type of approach all day and every day, instead of having a wood club in minimum distance or a long iron in maximum distance for the rough bump from distance. So that is the way that I'm going to go if I do have a club that do not have more than 6 bars backspin. So the question is, what do we do if we do have more, or if we do have 6 bar or more backspin? And that is what I'm going to show you with the second approach here for this hole. Here it is just, you can see how short this rough iron is, and it's basically down to hit it great. Hit it perfect, and it's going to be in. I'm even over adjusting a slight little bit so I can hit it great on the right and it will still go in. So you can see here I'm hitting the ball great, just slightly great right there. I'm going to take the right side of the cup and take the eagle. Okay, second approach. Now we're going to play with the Thor's Hammer level 6. You can play this approach with even a Thor's Hammer level 5. And with any other club, I would say the Apocalypse level 6 is needed, because we do need a backspin. And you can see I'm having a lot of backspin with the Thor's hammer here. And I'm just going to drive myself completely over the rough here. And we're going to hit it great, massively great on the left there, unfortunately. But with the max backspin and the distance we get, bounce over, and we sit very, very nicely on the fairway and going to have a nice and easy wedge to make an eagle. You decide what you want to do, and of course the clubs is going to decide. If you do have a higher level Thor's hammer, it's going to be a huge advantage for you. Yeah, like against your opponents that will not be having that. So it's a bit, in my opinion there. We do need to get a wind that is pretty strong. I would like to say 10.5. I would like to have a wind. And of course, you know, I hit it massively great on the left. So, but I would say 10.5 to be able to go with that. If you don't achieve that with a berserker, I would possibly change to a globe. That way. Our opponent gets very long with a kingmaker here. So, you know, it all comes down to the strength and the wind. It comes down to also how angled the wind is going to be. Like, you know, let's think about it like this. Let's say we do have the wind angled more towards straight tailwind, then we're going to gain much more distance than we would be if we have some more crosswind to it. Hit it perfect. Hit in the hole. Nice. Take the eagle there. 2 approaches on how to get the eagle on hole number 4. Hole number 5, and here we're going to play with the XMI level 8 max side spin and as much top spin as possible. And I would say 6 bars of top spin is going to be enough. You don't need more. So when I say max top spin, I mean max 6 bars. Plus 6 yard mark with the red ring just slightly inside the rough on the left. We're going to adjust max distance with a 10% over adjustment. In the end here, we're going to go with max curl with extra mile level 8, which is around 75% of the ball outside to the left. The thing that we do need to think of here is that look how close we are on the right side. So it's almost that we want to, if we do have an extra mile to play with, or an extra mile level 8 here, I would most likely make sure to reduce the top spin a little bit more to play with 5 or 5.5. Because I do not have curl enough to curl more than I want. If I would be having an apocalypse, for an example, I would be playing the amount of curl with slightly more than 1 ball outside to the left of the adjustment ring. To just make sure that we're getting enough distance to the left so we can gain as much distance on the fairway platform there as well. Okay, our opponent gets over there nicely as well. And here comes a big important part as well. We play with a power 3 ball. And we need to do that because otherwise we're going to have a very tough time here to get our ball or like our club to reach over the rough there. Because we do want to play on the fairway just before the green. You can see here I'm lining it up with 4 bars of side spin to the right. I'm using 1 screen grid or like green square too much to the right, so I should be moving it slightly more to the left than this one would most likely be in. I'm using max backspin, aiming for the top of the fairway, top of the green here to make the ball fall back down. Coming very nicely down here, and unfortunately we did compensate 1 square too much. Otherwise this would have been in for a very nice albatross. Have in mind for the drive and for the second shot, over adjust your shot with 10% from the distance you're in. So in max distance drive, and then second shot most likely max distance as well. But if you make a amazing drive, you might going to be more in medium / maximum distance. Okay, hole number 6. Here you can see 2 approaches as well. One that I'm going to go for the rough bump and one that I'm going to play on the side. You will then of course have to decide which one you feel is going to be better. But I do have a lot of players asking about this rough bump, and I'm going to take you over this one first. And I would say first and foremost that I'm not a super fan with it. The reason I'm not a super fan with it is because of the glitchy roll the ball is getting while rolling towards the pin. It's absolutely possible to make a hole-in-one, but I've been playing this one now 7 times with Sniper all the time, and I've been hitting the rough as I wanted to, but the problem has been that the fringe is coming in play too much that even if I'm using half a bar backspin, half a bar topspin, or no backspin, I'm going to get this extra push by the fringe from the fringe that I don't like. So the only flaw in this adjustment here is that I'm adjusting it for medium distance of my club. I do want to adjust this one for medium slash maximum distance of my club with a 20% over adjustment. So that's very important. 20% downhill, that's a lot. And if we do miss that, then we're going to be way off. I hit a great right, but you can see here how much left I still come. Look here at the roll there. We're coming in way hot, and I'm not sure that if we're not hitting the pin, the ball is not going to drop in the hole. It's just going to roll over. Second part here, or like a second shot here on hole number 6. Here I'm going to play on the right side, and I'm actually thinking that this one is a very nice one for us to try to dial in. And the reason I want to show this one as well is that it's a very tiny rough, you know. It's a very tiny rough, and if we miss that rough, we're going to either bounce over into the rough or into the sand on the other side, or we're going to go short and get stuck in the sand before the rough. So if you feel uncomfortable with using the rough bump, then please make sure that you look and watch closely here. Gets up to the green, our opponent gets up here, roll down, coming in a little bit too high. But that's okay. Okay, our turn. Sniper is the club. And we're going to play this one with a kingmaker, max side spin to the left. And then I'm going to go with, as you can see here, I'm going with 1 bar of backspin. I'm going to aim up here, look at the ball guideline, like 1 square down from the fringe on the top, and trying to visualize the ball guideline going directly in the hole. Then we're going to adjust for medium distance with a 20% over adjustment. So not medium slash maximum, just medium distance with a 20% over adjustment. We bounce here on the fairway, coming in very nicely up here, and we roll and get in the hole. This is going to be close. Comes down there, and we would definitely get the ball to drop if we would be coming in the pin area there. Now as well, coming into hole number 7, here I'm also going to show you 2 approaches. One where we go for the green and one here when we do go with a general approach. So with a general approach, we're going to aim for the island there and put ourselves with a 10% maximum, 10% over adjustment with the maximum distance of our club. And we're going to go with 4 bars of topspin, 4.5, and as much side spin that we can to the left. I don't want to overuse the topspin here, as I rather want to find myself in this position, so I do have a shot for the pin without having any struggle for this one. So now for the second shot, we're going to have a max backspin shot with the thorn. We could also go with the dunk here, so it's up to you to decide how you want to approach this pin. And I don't think there is a wrong way to do it. It's just what you feel the most comfortable with doing. Our opponent's going to go directly over here. It goes into the rough, unfortunately, but that's okay. Okay, it's not okay to get in the rough, but it's okay to drive it directly over to that fairway if you don't want to struggle with going on the fairway. What can I say, on the fairway island there. Here you can see there's one problem here with my adjustment, is that when I do compensate, I either don't compensate enough or I'm under adjusting my shot. We do need to think of the ball is going to bounce first slightly to the right, second time slightly to the right as well, and therefore we're in this case going to miss the shot to the right. I'm going to adjust this one in between medium and maximum distance, and we're then going to take our we're going to play this one medium distance off our club. That's why we missed. We should be playing it medium / maximum distance of our club, then we would be in the hole here, but it's very close, and I will definitely take that with me to the next one, to the next try, I would say. Hole number 7 again, and now we are going to go for the green. Yay! We're going to change, and we're going to change to a berserker ball here. And you can see here now, I'm kind of thinking like, what should I do here? Because this was the first time I actually played this hole when the tournament win came. I'm going to play with a berserker ball, max topspin, which is 6 bars, and as much side spin to the left as possible. We're going to adjust the range that is necessary, and then we're going to go with curl here in the end, which is going to be max curl with extra mile level 8. We hit it massively great left here, I would have to say. So we are very close to the left side, but bouncing in very nicely. And lucky enough, we hit the rough and going to have a very easy wedge for the eagle. I think, though, that this could be a possible way to go with. If you feel that you're not going to get the thorn shot dialed in, you just want to get as close to the green as possible, then go with that shot. Make sure that if you do have a club with lower amount of topspin than 6 bars, you need to play with a ball that gives you more wind. So like a snow globe or something like that. That's the same as if, let's say you have a club with more topspin, like the Apocalypse of a 6 or 7. Like, weird if you have an Apocalypse of a 7 in Expert, but still, if you do have it, then you're going to have to reduce the topspin a little bit, so you're not going too far. The thing that we do want is to, if we do miss the rough there on the top, we do want the ball to at least stop there on the fairway in some point, and in worst case scenario, we're going to get into the rough on the top of the green. So we're going to get this ball, and we're going to ship it in. Look how short this wedge is, and this is a wedge that we would never miss. Or like, at least we shouldn't miss this one in any case. Love Amelia's use box. Hit it great to the left. No, get in. Yay. Got it in for the eagle. And definitely it's something that we're going to bring with us for the next one. For the next try on hole number 7. Hole number 8. A tough par 3 for sure. Tough par 3. We're going to see many players making pars on this one, because they do forget to adjust for the elevation here. I play hole number 8 here with a 35% downhill adjustment with medium distance of my club. So I say it again, medium distance with a 35% over adjustment for this shot. And that's a lot. That's a lot. That's basically like around 9 rings for like it's around it's around 9 rings for this particular shot. So our opponent here is going to play slightly more to the right side, even though it's more in the center getting the hole. Nice shot, nice shot. Using a little bit more side spin than I'm doing, but this is a nice shot, something that I think you should be very happy with if you do do. So, okay, I'm going to play sniper, and I'm going to aim up with the blue ring, just touching the bottom of the bunker. But I'm slightly too much to the right here. I would like to move my target slightly more to the left. I'm using 2 bars of side spin to the left with a 5 bar backspin. And look at the ball guideline, we are a little bit too much to the right here, so we need to move our target a little bit more there to the left. And now I'm going to adjust 9.4 rings for a 7.6 mile per hour wind. We hit it perfect. And you can see that this shot is coming in very, very nicely. But as you can see, we were a little bit too much to the right there with our position. Otherwise, this would have been a very lovely and a possible hole in one here. But I'm happy with that, and we're gonna take that with us for the next time for sure. Hole number 9. First, we're gonna start by saying we do not add anything in terms of over or under adjustment for the drive. So we're just going to play it as it is. And I'm playing with Kingmaker as the wind is above 8. If I would be having wind that is below like a low 7, then I would be playing with a Titan, because I do want to have the tailwind here, so I don't have to like go with any form of overpower. Max top spin, and I'm using 2 bars of side spin to the right. I could actually stay away from the side spin to the right here, to be honest, because the side spin here is what pushes me to bounce the third bounce in the rough here. Even though we gain enough distance, we are very close to the rough. Take away the side spin to the right or go with as much 1 bar, then you're gonna be okay. For the second shot here, we could play with a sniper if we want to. We could play with a cataclysm or a big dog. But if you feel confident enough with your drive that you're going to get it over to that platform, I would highly suggest that you do play with a sniper, as it will give you the best possible chance to get the ball in the hole for an albatross. And it's always nice to end up with an albatross on hole number 9. As you can see there, you can get over the rough in many not many ways, but in many ways. But still going short there, and if you feel that you will be going short in some form, then I wouldn't be packing the sniper, as I wouldn't be gambling with the fact that we'll have to maybe stretch it out and stuff. That's not awesome. So I'm going to use around 6 bars of side spin to the left with 3 bars of top spin. We need to have in mind that we're going to get an extended ball guide line due to the tailwind that we're having on this shot. Now we're going to over adjust our shot from medium distance with 10% extra, which is going to be 1-on-1 with the sniper, so 7.3 rings. We're coming in very nicely here. Still a little bit too hot, not much, and this one would most likely be dropping if we would be hitting it at the pin in some form. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Expert Division. And once again, I do try to show you as many alternative ways as possible, but have in mind as well that you might be having different clubs that I'm using, so you will have to tweak the adjustment a little bit for yourself. If you do have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you make a comment in the comment section below. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. So if you do want to get the updated text guides for the Winter Major, check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Good luck in the Winter Major tournament.